This is a revolution for the first time in human history.
Generative AI. Generative AI.
Generative AI is changing the world.
Tomorrow, the art of asking questions is going to be a premium skill. For you to leverage Gen AI tools, you need to move from problem solving to problem finding.
Our guest, Vasudevan Kidambi, has helped thousands of companies decode AI and use it in the right way.
Mind is the biggest issue here. Mind always was thinking, I know ChatGPT. 7 billion people know ChatGPT. There's a huge difference between knowing and being.
We're going to talk today about generative AI, not as a buzzword, but a business reality, and how you should not try to use AI as a magic button.
Year after year, we are going to have a new workforce, native Gen AI trained, coming out of colleges. And this is a huge danger for people in the mid-30s and mid-40s. For the first time, technology that is becoming human-like, and we are yet to come to terms with this.
And how did Mr. Vasudevan Kidambi come to it?
That's an interesting story.
Gen AI is here. The tools are here. You can embrace it. You can get on board quickly. And it's time, and the time is now.
The time is yesterday.
Welcome to Vision Voices Middle East. This podcast looks at sharp insights and has bold conversation with industry veterans in consumer-facing businesses. We're going to talk today about generative AI, not as a buzzword, but a business reality. And we have with us our guest, Vasudevan Kidambi, a transformational leader, author, and founder. He has helped thousands of companies decode AI and use it in the right way, not just to automate, but to augment human intelligence. It's time AI became part of commercial capability within FMCG companies. It's time to use AI with a purpose. Let's dive straight in. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's wonderful pleasure meeting you, Tom. And
So-
always a high energy whenever we meet up, right?
100%. And the feeling is very mutual.
Lovely. Thank
I
you.
wanted to get straight on to the topic of Gen AI. How can we define what it is for someone who's hearing it for the first time?
Very interesting question and a profound question, I must say. World took nearly more than 2 years' time frame to actually understand what is the difference between AI and Gen AI. And they have been interchangeably using this to my profound surprise. I'll make it very simple. AI is automation. Gen AI is augmentation.
Amazing.
To put it in one single word. But if I will develop it further, look, you think of AI as something that is doing for you. Gen AI is doing with you.
Wow.
Yet, Gen AI is a portion of the overall AI universe. But even now, there's a big confusion in many corporate circles also. But
Brilliant. I mean, that's a very simple way of defining it, right? I think people are clear what they want to do with automation. I think mostly businesses are getting around to the suggestion that, it's inevitable that they have to embrace automation. And, a lot of organizations have already done that. Now, what else are you saying needed to be added to it?
So automation is very old. It's maybe a couple of more decades also, right? Many processes have been automated without even AI. This new phenomena called Gen AI is a pretty recent phenomena. If you actually put a date, it is November 20th, 2022, when ChatGPT made its global explosion, right? Look, Tom, this industry, the revolutions that have happened so far in history of humanity, all the revolutions have happened outside the human body. Have you seen that?
Absolutely.
Including your latest, the smartphone technology. Everything has happened outside the human body. For the first time, there is something that's technology that is becoming human-like. And we are yet to come to terms with this.
And how did Mr. Vasudevan Kidambi come to it?
That's an interesting story. The same thing that world witnessed the explosion in November. Every meeting that I go, there will be the opening topic would be ChatGPT, and I said I shooed away that. Yeah, ChatGPT. Like still people shoo it away, right? It doesn't bother me much.
Sure.
It took me 3 months time frame. So when this continuous frequency of this ChatGPT coming in various meetings became more and more, I then switched on my curiosity button, right? And I said, what is this ChatGPT? So it was a nice Eid holidays, the Ramadan holidays that was coming.
Sure.
So I called my team and I said, boot camp for 3 days. Forget everything. Just come from morning till night. We are just going to tackle what this ChatGPT and generative AI is all about. And that's when I saw, this was in early 23, that this is something really huge and it is transformational. And I like anything that is transformational, right? So that's when my journey started. And it became a part of me as we moved on, exploring each and every tool one after another. Then I started saying that people, this is not a tool or a technology. We need to embrace this change. Because this change is going to set the way we will live in an era of artificial general intelligence and artificial super intelligence, on which we still don't have a syllabus yet. So we need to learn the syllabus. And I became pretty serious about it. And that's when this whole thing started. I am a practitioner of generative AI. Then I saw that it becomes important for me to take this knowledge to the professional world, to the corporate world. Then I started masterclasses on generative AI.
Wow. So, as they say, there's always an advantage in going there first. And I guess you have that first mover advantage,
Definitely.
being in consulting, to be able to take this topic head on and move forward. But given that you came as a career professional in typical, consumer industries, particularly having worked for, some of the top tech companies when it came to, digital products in selling these products. Was it easier for you, given that you were already selling technology products, when you started to work with Gen AI, or it didn't make any difference?
Look, I would put it this way, and I fail to see this as technology. The technology is behind, and I see this as a transformation, a mindset transformation. So I could very early realize that this is going to change the way of working and the way of thinking. Technology doesn't come here, right?
Right.
It did lot of things in our life have changed the way we have been doing those things, right? Like booking a taxi or booking our airline tickets and so on, or even dealing with our banks. It has changed the way of working. This I saw that it is going to not only change the way of working, like many things have happened in the past, it is the whole way of thinking is changing. And here, if we have to think 10 times faster, that's a whole lot of change that we are bringing in, right? And Gen AI could very early see that this is something that is going to deliver such a speed and quality and efficiency and capability that organizations must look at it as the next in economics, right? Next in cost efficiency. And I share my arithmetics on that, which is one person can do 10 people's job 10 times faster at 1/10 of the cost. CFOs will understand the economics behind this. And if you replace 10 by 5, even then it is a huge economics, right?
Sure. I'm putting myself in the shoe of somebody who owns a business here in this region. I'm kind of looking at it and saying, these tools that are out there, the Gen AI tools that you're talking about, that's out there, currently, I myself don't understand it. Where should I start? How should I go about understanding how I can mobilize this in a way that'll be helpful for the business? Is this more an individual productivity tool that people adopt for themselves to do the job that they have been, hired to do? Or should I look at it more in terms of how I can take it and use it across the enterprise to tap the productivity that's there in my business? How should I really look at it?
We need to understand how to communicate with machines. We need to understand how machine responds. This is fundamental,
Right.
right? And if this is not there, then we are not going anywhere. We are doing a lot of trial and error. Second thing is we need to place the machine at the center. We need to build our guardrails, right? So which means you must be the thinker, not a questioner. So you must be the thinker and you must be the sense maker also. This is from an individual point of view. I just made it short. But if you are wearing a hat of a corporate, you have two more steps before that. You need to prepare the minds of your people. And that is where there's a huge mistake, right? In an unprepared soil, even an imported seed would not germinate, right? So, this is, as I started out saying, that this is a revolution for the first time in human history. It's happening within us. And therefore, the preparation of the mind and the mind reset is critical before even stepping into Gen AI.
So my question to you really is, how is this going to transform my business?
If you need to scale up your business with existing resources, you can scale it up with when you skill your workforce with Gen AI. Back to the same arithmetic equation, one person can at least do 4 people's job 4 times faster. This is number
Interesting.
one. Alternatively, you have to look for how you can scale down your operation for a similar level of business, right? Now, always keep in mind the world goes in ups and downs, and should we hit a recession, kind of, where would you bring the cost efficiencies? It's going to be this.
Right. I think I get it. So essentially, what you're saying is that if we use some of these tools in a responsible and conscientious manner, it can be a force multiplier for organizations. And that can only happen if you're willing to essentially prepare your team. So it's not simply for people to discover these tools on their own and use it any which way they want, but you're suggesting that there is some level of responsible prompting that's required, meaning responsible communication, just like you teach people how to communicate, human to human communication. What you appear to be suggesting is there is also science in communicating with machines, and that needs to be harnessed much more broadly if businesses want to take full advantage of it. Am I correctly interpreting what you're saying?
That's key and essential to learn how to communicate. But before that, preparing the mind. The mind is the biggest issue here. Mind always has, and in this particular case, mind always was thinking, I know ChatGPT, right? 7 billion people know ChatGPT. There's a huge difference between knowing and being. And this people will have to understand. So the being is where you have already transformed your mindset for the whole new way of working and whole new way of thinking. Did that happen? Checkpoint 1. Do we know how to communicate with machines? Did that happen? Checkpoint 2. And do we have the guardrails of using this new technology? All these 3 are required. Then after that, it is anybody's game to pick up a tool. To learn a tool, it takes you sometimes 5 minutes is time frame. That's it.
So how do you answer to people who basically say over-reliance on these tools will somehow deter human thinking?
This is the biggest challenge that's making its rounds these days. Ever since MIT broke an article a month ago, and they are right, over-reliance will bring down their level of capability. They're right. from what they have surveyed. However, if anybody pursued the use of Gen AI responsibly, right, you will be in a position to augment your capabilities by far, unimaginable levels you can. And that's because you are using it responsibly. You're using it with certain frameworks that I saw sort of evolved over a period of time. And I always put machine in the center, right? Thinker at the beginning, sense maker at the end. 2/3 is you. You can never go wrong in this equation. So if you are brainstorming and you are ideating, these two belongs to you. Generating is that dumb machine will do it. As long as you understand these concepts, these responsibilities of you in terms of using this technology, every technology is best depending upon how you use it. You misuse it, it will show it up to you, right? So this is also very similar. Responsible use of Gen AI will not bring your capability, your originality, your creativity down.
Let's talk practically about a tool, let's say ChatGPT. And let's say I am a brand manager working inside an FMCG organization. What, according to you, would be a responsible way for me to use ChatGPT?
One of the primary things what brand manager would do is to research.
Sure.
And research takes a hell a lot of time, right? You pick up one McKinsey article or a Harvard review, you need at least 2-3 hours time frame to go through it. Today, you can just dump several of those PDF files and from there ask what exactly you want, right? And you get it instantly and immediately, verified authentically, right? That's huge. So which means now you can do far more, right? You can ask more and more questions because you are now getting connected to the global collective knowledge. And that's coming with the speed of your thinking. So when you are able to conduct your research with the speed of your thinking, that's mind-boggling, correct, for a brand manager. The next brand manager challenges is communication. Right? And the whole suite of these Gen AI tools helps him in multiple ways. So from a communication point of view, from designing point of view, take for example, you are communicating with an agency, right? Today you are communicating content, right? Verbiage to the agency. The agency guy comes and then tries to understand in his way. Both are talking English, by the way, right? He goes and communicates it in another way to his internal team. And this, where the traffic between the agency and the brand manager goes 3 or 4 times inefficiency, right? If the brand manager can conceive what exactly he wants and then he can visually communicate to the agency, one, you achieve speed, right? Second, you achieve efficiency, accuracy closer to what you want and so on. Brings a whole lot of change to the whole ecosystem. So
the bottom line is that there is, benefit to be gained depending on who is getting on board faster and quicker. If you as a FMCG multinational company choose to embrace the tools and to tap into it and to take the benefit, you're gonna squeeze more of the lemon than someone else. But if the agency, for instance, is the one who's going to do that, then clearly they're the ones who are going to take more of that benefit. So effectively what you're saying is get on board because there are benefits to be had. Make sure that you're responsible and you understand that you should operate within certain guardrails. And it's time, and the time is now.
The time is yesterday.
Okay, fair enough. Let's now move closer to your own business model. You're running masterclasses. Tell me about them.
Yeah. I run a 2-day masterclass or sometimes 1-day masterclass depending upon the client requirement. My whole objective goal is transform the way of thinking and way of working for them, because this is something that I have achieved. Today, I'm engaged personally myself to doing research thesis papers using generative AI responsibly, right? So therefore, all of them have got this capability to leverage the Gen AI tools The only thing is they would not know which tool to use. And my masterclass basically gives them at the end of the session what I call it as build your own AI garage. You go with the garage, a set of tools, not just taking it. You have already used it during the session. So you now have hands-on. That skill is now your own at the end of the day. The next day onwards, you're a different person. The same day itself, you're a different person.
You've written a number of books yourself that somehow qualifies you
Yeah.
to be some kind of an expert on Gen AI. Can you take us through the frameworks that you yourself have built such that we can safely say attending Mr. Vasudevan Kidambi's masterclass is a good idea?
My book writing started with my first book called One Page Communicator. At that point in time, that was 2 years before. I never knew that it's going to be a foundational book for generative AI, because that's nothing but communication, right? So to communicate with machines, what do we need? Communication fundamentals, right? So that book today, it serves as a foundation for this. My next book called The Prompting Playbook. Very interestingly, when I understood that the power of tomorrow is in your skill to ask the question, the art of asking question is going to be a premium skill. So the prompting playbook is nothing but how to ask a question to this machine. The whole book focuses on that. I have few other books, which is the art of problem finding. When you are using Gen AI tools, it's for you to leverage its capability. You need to move from problem solving to problem finding. So that book serves a very critical purpose. And one of my very important books is called What is Your And? And this is a question that I put to every professional, because that's the time that today you are getting into AI, then it is next technology and next technology. So my book is called What is Your And? Which means it will chase you every quarter, every half year's time frame. You need to keep moving on, and so on. So each of my books are tied one with the other, if you see. And eventually I have an ebook which I update every 2 months' time frame, which is called Build Your Own AI Garage. And all my masterclass participants get that copy of that book for the next 1 year's time frame, because it constantly gets updated and so on. So the books do a very important role alongside my masterclass initiatives.
That's brilliant. I mean, it is so good. They say the best way to learn is to teach.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
clearly, that is a theory that you are embracing, and that's helping you to also absorb the tremendous amount of knowledge and information that constantly is coming at us. So if someone wants to invite you to a masterclass, how many days are we talking about? Does it require us to be having the people in person or virtual?
I generally prefer face-to-face. And why I say face-to-face with much more responsibility is there is a huge effort which requires energy to move people towards this whole transformation of mindset. And it is best done in a physical environment. So I insist physical, but there might be situations where we have to do it online. So I also take up online programs also. So both are
Fantastic. I
workable,
mean,
yeah.
that's really good to know.
Yeah.
So if you want to just kind of summarize it and say it in, few steps, can you do that for us so that we understand? How should I think about it? What should I do about it?
First and foremost thing is be ready to embrace this new technology. This is number one. And understand the fundamentals that these tools are not an answering machine. They are co-thinkers. Therefore, your ability to think alongside becomes very critical. Step number 3, understand how to communicate with machines. Right? Step number 4, put your guardrails. Step number 5, start learning the tools.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think you've summarized it absolutely.
And
brilliant.
if you see in this, the learning the tool comes at the end.
Sure.
Right? It's totally the other way around, where the world sees, right? People can do agent AI today also, but I would say do all these things first.
So that appears to be a topic for another podcast.
It's a huge workflow automation using generative AI. That's a totally different
Ball game altogether.
ball game altogether.
But for now, let's talk about Vasu's AI garage, right? There is enough out there for people to explore, understand, learn. And if people are looking to coach their teams, if people are looking to get a leg up on their competition, I think it's important that they get in touch. And definitely we can put you in touch with Vasu. And he'll be more than happy because he's a man on a mission. He's here to transform. He's lived in the Middle East for several years, and he understands this region. He understands the people. So, and he's on a mission. And I guess we'll be happy to put anyone in touch with Vasu and to do his master classes and start the process of driving and differentiating, you from competition. Whether you're a large business, you're a consumer industry leader, I think you have to think about it holistically. And this is an opportunity. This is going to massively change the rules of the game. And the people who are going to come on board first, who are going to embrace it first, are going to leave the rest of the people behind.
There's one more very important thing. And if you don't do this, right, year after year, we are going to have a new workforce which are coming out of colleges, right? Native Gen AI trained people, right? And this is seen as the huge danger for people in the mid 30s and mid 40s. Because knowledge which used to differentiate one from the other in today's world, if that is commoditized, and it's available for anybody, then it is only your way and power of asking the question, right? And the younger generation, alpha generation, I think we can believe that they have a very powerful way of asking questions, right? That is actually seen as a threat. And I was appreciative of Singapore government, a few other governments have also done that they actually subsidize this higher level of education for their people, for their citizens, showing that this is the technology that are coming. Please wake up and then get yourself equipped with this knowledge and these skills.
So for us here, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Not even when. The when also has passed in its time, right? It's now.
Right, 100%. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, thank
Cheers.
you.